This is a podcast interview for the group project of the subject Living Conversations, and I am Arnav Sharma, SAP ID 500120678 of batch 46. So, without further ado, let's extend a warm welcome to Colonel Sharma, an officer in the Indian Army who has been serving the nation for more than 20 years now. Thank you for taking the time to be with us today, and we look forward to a conversation that not only enlightens us about the life of a military officer, but also inspires those who aspire to follow in your footsteps. Can you start by sharing your motivation for joining the Indian Army?
Good evening to everyone, those who are listening to me. There were number of motivations to join Indian Army. The first and foremost is the family legacy. My father, who also served in Indian Army, and I wanted to continue the tradition of my family. And this is one of the best service that one can think of in India, which not only give you a career but also offers you the best way of life in India.
Thank you for the answer, Colonel Sharma. Second question is, what specific qualities do you believe are essential for an officer in the Indian Army?
The specific qualities that are essential to become a good army officer are positive thinking, boldness, taking quick decisions, inquisitiveness, a always learning attitude. These are the basic qualities which are looked forward from an army officer.
Thank you. The next question, can you elaborate on the key roles and responsibilities you've held during your service in the Indian Army?
Key roles and responsibilities given to me while during my service in Indian Army are: I was assigned initially with a small body of troops, like 20, 30 odd people. As my job is technical in nature and to provide communication to various arms and services of Indian Army in all sort of situations, like during peacetime, during operations, and during field conditions. So my job was to ensure that the communication should always be available to various people so that the coordination of army can always happen. Thereafter, as I grow in the organization, the responsibilities and the sphere of responsibilities kept on increasing, and more number of people came and wider area or a spectrum of communication responsibilities were given to me. And around after serving for 10 years, then I was also entrusted with the responsibility of training and teaching the young officers who are joining Indian Army. So I was posted as instructor to officers who were pursuing their technical courses. And after 16 years, responsibility of a full unit was afforded to me, in which I was commanding around 700 people. And our job was to provide mobile communication during operations in the desert sector. So, likewise, number of responsibilities of different natures kept on coming on my way, and I tried to do them in the best possible way.
Diverging from this topic, can you quickly tell us about the new technological changes happening in the Indian Army?
There are a number of new changes that are happening in Indian Army, as the Army is the biggest consumer of any technology and innovation that take place in the world. And especially we have number of fields in which the advancement are taking place. For example, in case of infantry soldiers, new kind of weapon system, new kind of situational awareness systems, all the technical gear, radars, night vision devices, and lot many things which are coming, which are going to help the soldiers in great way to achieve the success during the operations and war. Likewise, in every domain, like in case of armored, new kind of tanks are coming, which are more powerful, more efficient, and they are capable of taking on enemy in any kind of adverse situation. In case of RTs, the the artillery guns can now fire to long distances. They have better rocket systems. In field of communications, we have graduated from old communication system to the latest communication systems, which are based on internet protocol, IP protocols, and it is totally, the communication system is networked into one seamless system which can provide communication in any kind of situations to the wide spectrum of users without any difficulties. So likewise, in every domain of Indian Army, the advancement and the inclusion of technology has taken place, and because of that, our operational efficiency and capabilities to win the war has increased multifold.
Thank you for such a great answer. Now, could you share a particularly memorable or challenging experience from your military career?
There were number of challenges that had come in my way during my professional life in Indian Army, and all of them are very memorable. And whenever I think about them, I feel very excited. But there was one event that really gave me a lot of satisfaction as an army officer. Is I was posted in northern sector in the area of Jammu and Kashmir in a unit whose task was to capture enemies' messages and analyze them, decode them, and finally try to take out some intelligence so that our operations can be planned. So my job used to be to read all the messages which were captured by our own forces over the wireless system, and then, because all the messages used to be coded, so my job was to decode the messages and try to understand what communication they are trying to do. So I was pursuing a particular conversation for few days, and then I came to know that the terrorists are planning to blow off one of our very important dam. So I got on the task and kept on analyzing those messages, and finally home down on like what kind of explosives, time, and which dam in particular they are going to target. So finally, I able to decode that and alerted my higher ups. And just before the terrorists could have done their damage, our army has undertaken operations and killed all the terrorists. And for this task, I have been awarded the Chief of Army Staff Commendation Card. And This event is the most satisfying event in my military life.
Thank you so much
Now,
for the answer. It's a great experience. Moving on, what are your thoughts on continuous professional development and how do you see the future of the Indian Army evolving?
Indian Army is ever evolving organization where it keep on uh, changing or taking the changes which are happening outside in its fold and evolving it to become a better organization. So there are a lot of professional development programs that keep happening in Army, and Army is one organization where for a sizable period of your service, you are actually studying. So at times, like if I take my case in particular, so almost out of my 22 years of service, I have done studies for 8 years. That studies include a lot of courses that I have done in Army, uh, two MTechs in Army, and likewise. So always at every stage, the training and learning keep happening in Army.
Thank you so much. Lastly, what advice would you give to aspiring candidates looking to join the Indian Army?
I would say joining as an Army officer is one of the easiest profession if you have it in you. So you don't need any kind of preparation as such. If you have those qualities, then definitely you can make up to that interview and examinations and you will be selected. But however, there are a few silent points which if one keep on looking in, then it's very easy for him to join Indian Army. So some of them are like one should keep updating himself, whatever advancement in various fields which are happening, be it political, be it economical, cultural, technological, the various fields. So you should be in know-how of the amount of things what is happening around in the world, and be always natural and aware of your environment. Then the habit of planning for everything is very important to become a good army officer. So before you do anything, so just sit down for 10 minutes and plan by using pen and paper that what all activities you will be doing for this particular task and how exactly what kind of resources you want to carry out this task and what kind of timelines you are going to follow so that the task will be completed in the best manner with given resources and in the most efficient fashion. The other quality which is important is always be positive. Uh, always there will be number of problems that will come in front of you, but if you are positive, then you will able to identify the solution of that problem, and once you identify the solution of problem, then you can execute the remedial measures and you will able to remove that problems which are coming in your way. So the positive attitude with focused mind is again a very important quality that all the candidate who are aspiring for army should have it in them. Then you must invest some time in physical activities, playing games and keeping yourself physically fit and mentally healthy, because as an army officer, these are the basic qualities that the organization will look forward from you. So I believe that if somebody is interested in joining Indian Army, if he can look upon on these points, probably he won't be requiring any specific coaching or training to become an Indian Army officer.
Thank you so much for joining us for this enlightening session.
Thank you very much.